We're live. And yes, with the same sweater. Shit's comfortable. What's going on, beautiful people? I'm the Grandmaster, and I also go by D.Rey, bringing you guys week number 4 of the Breedjects Battle Royale, where we take on Sir Jorge D. Great, coach of the Pet Boys, does everything for less. Today we're gonna build the team, tell you guys what we're gonna bring, why we're gonna bring it. If you're excited for it, do me the massive favor and rage fist that thumbs up button. And if you're new, por favor, hit the subscribe button, turn on post notifications, hit the bell button so you get notified every single time we post a new video. The small amount of time it takes for you to hit that like and sub button really truly does help me out a lot, so make sure you double check if you're subscribed. It really would just mean the world to me. Leave a comment down below, tell me what you're excited to see, leave a like on the video. With that being said, let's get on into it. Pull up a chair, get your popcorn ready, and hit the lights. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, sit back, relax. I've got my coffee, grab your snack. Let's talk about what we're gonna bring, why we're gonna bring it. Today, or tomorrow, you'll see the game tomorrow. We play the team right up above my head. Sir Jorge D. Great and the Pet Boys has a team consisting of Great Tusk, period, exclamation point, shit. Fantastic Pokemon, past paradox form of Donphan, very powerful Pokemon, hits very hard, ground and fighting type, fantastic typing offensively, kind of hits the same things, kind of, but nonetheless still a fantastic Pokemon. Gets access to knockoff for utility to get rid of items, which is really great. Gets access to rapid spin for removal, and also gets access to rocks, which is cool, kind of like a one-stop shop kind of thing for him, which is nice for Jorge. He's got Skullvillain, which is his mascot pick. Skullvillain is also his Z captain. It's a Z fairy Skullvillain. I know it's kind of funny, a couple weeks ago he accidentally tear it into fire, but just to give you guys a 411, in the BBR we do have to designate Terra captains, and we also have to dedicate, and we have to announce, I should say, what Terra type we're going to be tearing into. So for us, we have Palafin, we have Terra type the water, and he has, as I said, Skullvillain Terra type fairy. He's got sun support in Torkoal, giving him access to rocks and spin. He's got Bronzong, which also has Stealth Rock, so lots of hazards on this team. 3 Pokemon so far with Stealth Rock. Coolmon, I think it does have to come. It's either going to be Levitate or Heat Proof. Both have viability to show up, so we do have to find out which one it is. Weavile, which got heavily nerfed. It lost Triple Axle. It lost Knockoff. It lost... I think I lost something else that was pretty significant. It lost Throat Chop, which was huge as well. So he has to run Night Slash for Dark type stab, which is kind of unfortunate for him, but great for us. But at the end of the day, it's still Weavile, right? Still Weavile. He has the Gothitelle. Love Gothitelle. Good Pokemon, good trapper, has Shadow Tag. So if you're not a Ghost type, you can't switch out. Gotta bring the fucking shed. I keep forgetting what the damn shed item is. Anyway, Noivern shows up. He's got the dragon flying type, very fast Pokemon, great mon to just outspeed stuff and just revenge kill. Awesome utility and taunt. And Roost, it got Roost, even though it did get nerfed, it still has access to Roost, and it also has access to Defog, so that's his first Defogger alongside Rapid Spin in Great Tusk and in Torkoal. He has Quagsire, which got quite the buffs, has both Stealth Rock and Spikes, which is pretty cool for it. Access to Unaware, so we do have to keep that in mind. It's a ground and water type, 4 times weak to grass, but this is going to be most definitely his Palafin check. He's got Bombardier, which is the bird, the dark flying bird that gets parting shot and also a 3rd stab with his ability. So it gets stab in rock type moves, which is actually kind of neat. He's got the dog, Dashbun, cool Pokemon. I was gonna draft it. It gives it an immunity to, his ability gives him an immunity to fire type moves, which is pretty cool. Good utility and like Yawn, Baton Pass, Wish, things like that. Doesn't have the biggest HP stat, but nonetheless, it does have that option if he needs it. And he's got Belly Bolt, which is his second Z captain. So we have 18 points to designate Z captains. He had enough after school villain to give not Z, Terra Electric to Belly Bolt. So that's something we do got to keep in mind. Now, well, what we're going to bring first up, as you see our mascot, we're looking at his team. He kind of gets murdered by our boy Baxcalibur. So Baxcalibur is going to show up and literally just be here to break shit. Thermal Exchange is a fantastic ability, especially this game. If I get hit by a fire type move, and then I get that +1 attack boost, which is actually kind of neat and fantastic for this matchup. And we're going to be running Ice Shard for priority, because if you see his faster Pokemon, being Weavile, even though it is resisted, it's a Weavile, so it's not very bulky. In fact, it's not bulky at all. So it does take a lot of damage from a banded Ice Shard, and then it just OHKOs Noivern, so that way Noivern is less of an issue. We're running Icicle Crash for our second stab. We're running Crunch. This is going to be mainly for the Bronzong to get super effective damage on it. And this is where I said it was important to find out if it was Levitate or Heat Proof, because if it is Heat Proof, we can still hit it with an Earthquake. So that's the idea behind the move sets here. We have 84 in HP, 252 in attack, 4 in defense, minus special attack, 4 in SPDEF, and 164. I totally messed that up. Wasn't even looking. So I have 84, 252. There we go. And then Adamant Nature, 4 in defense, minus special attack, 4 in SPDEF, and then 164 in speed. And they're running the Adamant Nature, right? Yeah, and Choice Banded at level 50. Cool. So here's our Baxcalibur here. Baxcalibur's name is Sub-Zero, because it's Sub-Zero. don't really have another reason for it. But yeah, Ice Shard's gonna be fantastic for his faster Pokemon to lock into. Ice Crash does a crazy amounts of damage to everything on his team, aside from the Bronzong and the Torkoal, but nonetheless, those get bopped by the combination of Earthquake and or Crunch, which is really cool. But we're looking to break with Baxcalibur relatively early, or depending on the flow of the matchup, maybe we can use it to clean up with Ice Shard. So either Baxcalibur breaks or cleans the game up, one of the two, which is pretty cool. Next up, we're going to be bringing, for the second week in a row, we have our Crocodile. Crocodile showing up this week with, his name is going to be Hamburglar. I was super proud of that. Shout out to Summer for thinking of that. At level 50, and yes, we are bringing the shiny Crocodile, because in this game it actually looks a lot better, in my personal opinion. We're running Life Orb, and you'll see why in just a second. Intimidate is just a fantastic ability. We're running Earthquake. We're running Crunch, dual stabs. We're running Grass Knot, and we're running Stealth Rock. Now let me explain why we're bringing this set. After we put the EVs in, we have 36 in HP, 252 in attack, and then we have minus SPDEF and 220 in speed, and this is minus special attack nature, like that. Boom. And then plus speed. So this is Jolly. Yep, cool. So the reason for this is this is gonna be our dedicated lead. The thing about a Sun team, for the most part, it typically is very hazard weak, specifically to rocks. So if we see Torkoal, Scovillain, and Noivern, essentially, if we see 2 or 3 Stealth Rock weak Pokemon, we're just gonna lead with Crocodile. 90% of the time, we're leading Crocodile, and then we're just gonna click Stealth Rock. If he ends up leading with the Great Tusk, we have enough speed to outspeed a Jolly max speed Great Tusk by 1 point. And I'm not going to try to 1v1 it. He's going to probably think that I'm going to switch, and so I'm going to click Grass Knot. And Grass Knot does a metric fuck ton to, it doesn't OHKO it, but it does to a metric fuck ton, like something obnoxious like 80%, in which case it no longer is an issue for the priority that we're bringing on this team, because Great Tusk is one of the biggest threats to our team. So that's really nice. And then if we happen to survive whatever hit he goes for, we can go for Grass Knot and then follow up with the Stealth Rock if he wants to knock us out on the subsequent turn. So, oh, excuse me. phone. Sorry guys. So that's the main idea. Also, Crocodile goes in on this team. Like the combination of his dual stabs really rip his team apart, which is fantastic. And like I said, Stealth Rock is just going to be really nice for his squad. Now, next up we have is Palafin. Palafin showing up this week. Obviously, we have the Assault Vest, 0 to hero ability at level 50. We are a Terra type water. We have Flip Turn. We have Jet Punch, Liquidation, and Grass Knot. Now, this is a pretty cool set because he gets bought by water type attacks. The only thing that doesn't is going to be Quagsire, which takes a metric fuck ton from Grass Knot. It is a guaranteed 2-hit KO if he's max defense, which is really nice. Grassknot.exe, which is going to be fantastic. He has a very respectable in the hero form, a super respectable special attack stat. So we can still be the the adamant nature and still be able to 2-hit KO Quag, which is pretty solid. Quag is pretty cool Pokemon, but he just doesn't have very much attack power. So that's a thing. We're Assault Vest because we have 4 attacks. Might as well be able to come in and chew a hit from the fire types. It could chew a hit from the Torkoal. It could chew a hit, for the most part, from a Noivern, because the Noivern isn't incredibly strong. Dracos are going to suck, but we can, for the most part, switch in on Noivern. We can switch in on Scovillain if he's like locked into a fire type move. Obviously, we're not going to stand on like a Solar Beam or something like that. We can come in onto the Gothitelle, on the Belly Bolt, which is really nice. So it's able to come in, chew a hit, and really just do damage and be a pivot. We're not going to lead with Palafin for the most part, depending on the situation, but we're going to have to work to get the hero form, which is unfortunate, but not undoable. You know, got to pay your dues if you want to get the Superman out. But Liquidation does crazy amounts of damage to his team. Great Stab, Jet Punch for priority, and Flip Turn for pivot momentum with Assault Vest, because we're not going to be clicking Flip Turn until the Quagsire goes down, but once it does, fantastic. Till then, we click Grass Knot, take it out. Next Pokemon is going to be our combination. If we can't handle the Great Tusk in the way that we talked about before, it's going to be this in the combination of these 2 Pokemon. We're bringing Sylveon, Lobo. My Palafin's name is Splash, by the way. Splash. And then Sylveon's name is Lobo. Yeah, there you go. Cool. So at level 50, our Sylveon is going to be running Leftovers. Nice fat set with the Pixelate. We're running Hyper Voice. We're running Shadow Ball. And we have Wish. And we have Protect. Simple stuff. EV Spread we're running on our Sylveon. 248 in HP. 220 in defense. 40 in special attack. And then defense is also going to be plus because we're running the Bold Nature. So the idea behind it literally chews hits from a lot of stuff. So essentially, look at this team. Hyper Voice kind of goes in. And then Shadow Ball is fantastic neutral coverage on everything else and does super effective damage on the Steel type, the Bronzong, which is fantastic. And we can also sit on Bronzong because we fully expect it to be very bulky, very, very bulky, non-offensive. We chew Gyro Balls, we chew Iron Heads, we chew Body Presses, we chew everything from Bronzong, and we 1v1 it with Shadow Ball spam. If we can get those special defense drops, that would be fantastic. It helps us deal with it just a little bit better. And then Wish Protect allows it to 1v1 it long term, and also to pass wishes to things like Palafin, to things like Sub-Zero, to things like Crocodile and other Pokemon that would be bringing. Very good Cleric. Not necessarily a Cleric, it's able to heal the team, I should say, quite easily, and also keep itself really healthy and just spam Hyper Voices, and it's just going to be putting in the finest. The idea is the combination of this and Rotom will not allow the Great Tusk to lock into something safely. You can't lock into close combat. We switch into Sylveon. He tries to lock into Headlong Rush or Earthquake. We got Rotom Mow because we're immune to it with the Levitate ability. This is also running Leftovers. This is a very simple set, but very effective in my opinion. We have Volt Switch, we have Leaf Storm, we have Will-O-Wisp, and we also have Light Screen. So this is essentially just going to be max, and we have a level 50. Max defense with a Bold Nature. So max, and I think the rest is in Spadef. Yeah, rest is Spadef. Bold Nature. So come in on the physical attackers. Said Great Tusk. Will-O-Wisp it and burn it. No longer an issue. For the most part, we're going to be basically chasing it out. And he's going to probably want to bring in something different. So Will-O-Wisp on his entire team is basically free. If he wants to try to bring in Torkoal, and Torkoal's still alive, I most definitely will probably just click light screen and then Volt Switch out. That way we can handle all the special attackers, which is the most of the team. And then Will-O-Wisp neuters the physical attackers, which is great. Little side note, Quagsire lost access to Scald. So it probably is going to be physical, like with Liquidation and Earthquake. So if we can burn it, it becomes so much more manageable for Palafin in the end run. We can just literally Grass Knot, sit in front of it, and not worry about it. And once Quagsire goes down, Palafin is free to really go nuts, which is great. So Rotom's going to be a big part in that. And we have the legendary nickname. Y'all already know, Monch. Now, last Pokemon we have on the team. Iron Moth. Iron Moth is showing up because of Sir Peppy, the Skull villain. So we're running heavy duty booties to be able to switch in on hazards because he has a lot of hazard setters. We don't have Pincurchin this week, so we're tempted to running Booster Energy, but ultimately we just came up with this. We got Fire Dance, we've got Dazzling Gleam, we have Morning Sun, and we have Agility. Now, here's the thought process behind this set, right? 28 in HP, minus attack, 252, no. 44 in defense, 252, plus 4, and 180. Boom. So here's the thought process here, right? We have enough speed to outspeed Great Tusk. I basically ignored the dog. We're ignoring the puppy. I don't worry about the puppy. We're gonna creep the Great Tusk and by 1 point and still be able to bop it with a Dazzling Gleam. Fire Poison typing is allowing us to withstand and resist all 3 of the stabs from Skull Villain, on both Fairy, Fire, and Grass, because it's the Terra Captain. I don't foresee him packing Stomping Tantrum. If he does, good on him. I don't think that's outside of this scenario. I don't think it's worth packing. If he does, he does. But this is literally to switch in on Skull Villain. Click Agility and either break or win the game. With an Agility up, we guaranteed outspeed Skull Villain in the sun. So we officially become the fastest Pokemon in play. We are resistant to the Ice Shard priority from the Weavile, and we can proceed to literally rip his team apart. The other way that this can go horrifically wrong is if that scenario happens while the Bronzong is still around, and he would have to be heat proof. If he's heat proof, this set kind of gets, gypped in the nuts. If he's heat proof, it's not the worst thing in the world because that means that Sub-Zero and Hamburglar can click their ground type moves, which would be better. But it would keep Iron Moth from literally winning the game on the spot after a +1 boost from Fiery Dance. Fire plus Fairy hits this entire team for neutral or super effective damage, which is great. Torkoal is also a huge issue for this, but again, this is only to keep Sir Peppy at bay. Torkoal, I don't even think has a good matchup in this game, to be completely honest. When we're running the mocks, Torkoal is not a problem at all in mocks, so I don't even think it comes. If it does come, it's gonna be just to set up Sun and be like the Heat Rock set, which makes it weak to rocks, which makes it easier to deal with. It's funny that in one of the mocks, Shell Smash came, but that was even easier to deal with because Shell Smash would drop his defenses and thus gets weaker to Palafin. So I don't see Torkoal coming, but obviously we don't know what Jorge is gonna bring. We gotta prepare for everything, keep an open mind, and see where we go from there. But this is the team, y'all. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below, and we're gonna play tomorrow. Wish us luck. Gotta get this dub moving forward, so we'll see what we can do. With that being said, guys, I'm gonna get the heck up out of here. Have a great rest of your day, and above all else, be nice. Peace.